Welcome to Unlock Your Quantum Success webinar with me, Malvina Messler. And today we're going to dive deep into how you can unlock quantum success in your life and in your business so you can scale your revenue and your impact and avoid what I call toxic success. So we'll dive into all those things just in a second. And as we warm up, just throw in a chat where you're joining from and what's your intention for being here. Why did you sign up for this call, and what do you wanna get out of it? And if you're watching the replay, I encourage you to do the same. Reflect, because this is neuroscience at work. When you decide what's your intention for spending this hour together, your brain works hard to achieve that goal. So be mindful and set that intention. Get in your clarity. Okay, let me share my screen a little bit so I can share a few things with you. So this is the topic of a conversation, how to unlock quantum success. And one of the things I always like to talk about, and I want to make sure that you're in the right room. So let me ask you this. Do you value freedom? And if that's the case, put in a chat freedom. Yes. Do you value wealth? Yes. And do you value impact? And if so, put it in the chat, all three, because this is who this webinar is for. You know, if you're just interested in meeting your small attainable goals, then you can get away with just the regular way of doing things. And I'm just being honest with you. But if you're one of those incredible women that cross my path, who's up to bigger things in life, who really wants to be in her purpose and calling, and is not afraid of calling in bigger success, because bigger success means bigger impact, bigger way of helping others, and also abundance that we as heart-centered women get to share with others. So lots of money in wealth in hands of women like you is a really good thing, not just for you, but for humanity. So if you're that woman who says yes to all of this, then you're in the right room. And a little bit about me, because we might have met really briefly. I'm Malvina Messler, your quantum success coach, but I'm also known as a Paris retreat host and a best-selling author and speaker. A little bit about my credentials. I was a co-founder of a national franchise brand that I grew to 35 locations, former sales and marketing executive for a couple of technology companies, and also founder of the Quantum Success Mastermind, from which I'm going to be drawing on the wisdoms and the teachings that I share typically in my mastermind. You're going to get a sneak peek and you're going to learn some of those principles here on this call today. I'm also a former chair of Women Franchise Network in Colorado, where I used to live. But you're probably sensing a little bit of an accent. So I am, you're right to sense the accent. I was actually born in Poland in times of communism. And this is a picture that depicts the reality I was born in. So my childhood was very gray. Truly, no Mickey Mouse, no Donald Duck, no colors. We didn't even have chocolate, only lollipops. That was the only candy we had. Not to mention, colorful clothes and toys. When my parents went to Germany and brought bananas and oranges, I thought those were toys. So me and my neighborhood friends were playing with them, not knowing that this is fruit that you get to eat and enjoy. That's how separated we were from the world, because you might have heard this term, we were behind Iron Curtain. What that means is that the communistic regime wanted to keep us away from knowing intellectually and understanding that there is a better life, that there are possibilities out there, that there are other ways of doing things, that we can actually have more. So I experienced that living in the darkness, not knowing that there is more available to us. And I think that's what really caused me to be a seeker of more. And I always studied neuroscience, personal development, no matter what job I had. But those humble beginnings also left a mark on me, which was a lot of scarcity mindset. So you might have not grown up in communism, but can you relate to this? Like, from our upbringing, we sometimes adopt those scarcity mindset thinking where we're afraid about money, maybe because how our parents handled money, what they told us about money. And I'm not trying to put blame on anyone, but it's just reality. Even if we wish the best for our kids, we just repeat what we know. And a lot of times that becomes our scarcity mindset from which we operate. So I had to do a lot of work to dismantle that mindset. And when I first came to US to study that, I really dove deep into mindset work and studied all the greatest from Tony Robbins to Hart Ecker, you name it, Brian Tracy. And this is my life today. I lead international retreats to places like French castles, Paris, Thailand, Christmas markets in Europe. I got to be published twice, and my recent book with beautiful Wendy Bloom, who helped me become an author, is Unleashed Entrepreneur, in which I share quantum principles. My first book was The Becoming You. I also lead an academy for women called She Rises Leadership Academy. It's an online community, but I also host a lot of events for women to unlock their next level in San Diego. And I often speak even in Europe and around the country, just as I was recently in Florida. So, how did I get there, and what was that bridge for me? Because when I first came to US, I was actually a waitress. So my life today, it wasn't like this. I wasn't born a Polish princess. You saw where I came from. I actually fell in love with a boy who I met while working here on this work and travel program for international students. And we fell madly in love. I went back to Poland, but we couldn't live without each other. So eventually, I moved here because he didn't speak any Polish or any other languages. So it was much easier for me to move here. And we began our life. But in doing so, I dropped out of college. So I actually, gave up on that education and that opportunity. And he was in a restaurant industry. So he got me into what he knew. So we would travel America, live in places like Aspen and Park City and Jackson Hole, Wyoming and Lake Tahoe. And we would move every 6 months. And I even lived in Alaska, in Hawaii. And as fun as that lifestyle was, I was really a waitress. That's what I was doing. So at that time, when I thought, how can I make more money? How can I create more wealth? The only idea was, well, get a second job, work harder, work more hours. And maybe you've seen that in your way of approaching money making strategies, right? We go to what is our default operating system. And that was hours, trade my hours for more money. So I did that. And there was a time where I had 3 jobs at the time, right? And I knew eventually, gosh, that's not a recipe for making it in America. Here I am in the country of opportunity, in which we often forget that this is where we are. But I will be the first one to tell you, I love Europe, but I don't want to give up my American. And so I split my time between both because I see this to be a country where we can really reinvent ourselves at any age, do whatever we want, pursue whatever passions we want, and be successful at it. And so if you're here, I know you probably believe the same. And so what I did at that time, I promised myself no more. I need to shift into business. I need to get myself into business. And when I did that, I actually took an unpaid internship because I had so many limiting beliefs. Well, I am a college dropout. I've never had a business experience in America. I am not a native speaker in English. All those limiting beliefs came up. So, can you relate? Has there been a time where you had some of those too show up as you were trying to ascend to the next level in your life and career? And it's not uncommon, especially for us women, because we grew up with a programming of like, wait your turn. If if you have if you do the right things, it will come to you and you just wait, right? While men have been programmed differently. Just go after it. You only meet 60% of the criteria on the resume. Apply for that job. Tell them you're perfect candidate, right? So there is a lot of internal programming that we get to dismantle as well to break through that glass ceiling. And that's what I focus on the She Rises Academy. But today we're talking about quantum. So that being said, when I took this unpaid internship, I still had to have my restaurant job at night so I could afford going to work for free during the day. But that's when I knew, okay, I don't have a college degree. English is not my first language. I need some kind of advantage over all those people who I'm competing with. So I studied even harder. I tapped into all the personal development I could. And this is really what informed the quantum success framework and the quantum approach I'm talking to you about today. So before I move to the next thing here, I love that we've got I'm seeing the notes that you resonate with what I'm saying. I want to check in as you've been building your career and your business. What is the definition of success for you? And either feel free to speak up or put something in a chat. You can unmute yourself if you want.
Success for me is freedom.
Freedom. And what kind of freedom?
Freedom to move and in my own space. So if I want to, the business I've created, I can travel to Italy, which I'm doing next month, and I'm be hanging out there, and I can work from there when I visit my daughter in Hawaii. That true freedom, and that to be able to travel and to really excite and live in passion.
Ooh, okay. So there's more than that freedom. The freedom of location, it was very clear what you said, right? Freedom to move wherever you want. And then there was the passion aspect. So you're starting to add more to it, right? It's not just enough to be free to travel, but you also want the passion to be part of it. So I had once a client who wanted to be a public speaker, and she got that wish. She was a public speaker. That meant hefty travel schedule. And she's like, I want to travel the world and speak. But she spent more times at the very hectic airports than actually at the destinations enjoying the life. So then she came to me, it's like, okay, we need to relook at this. And that's when I invite people to redefine success for them. So, Debbie, I love what you just modeled because you already took us beyond what typical definition of success which is money in a bank, nice house, comfortable car, right? That's typically like the trifecta of how we grew up, what's been modeled on TV, and what people typically strive for. So I love that.
I'm with
And
Debbie. I'm definitely with Debbie.
what
I don't
else
know
would
if
you
it
add
makes
to
sense.
it? Karina, what else is on your list? When do you find yourself successful? What else is your criteria?
So basically, what Debbie said, and being able to live on my own terms, and I think that what she described is exactly how I see me living on my own terms, me being able to do the things that I love and still make money and still, do things that I'm passionate about. And yeah, to have that kind of freedom, and not have to worry about, you know, where the money is coming from, because it is coming, because I'm doing the work, but also living my life on my own terms, which is what Debbie described.
Beautiful. And I love that. I'm not surprised you're saying this because this is typically the type of woman I attract to my world, right? And this is what who the quantum approach is for. Because if you're that kind of woman that still wants to grind and work hard and just put the head down and wear that badge of honor of like, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I worked so hard, and you're committed to this, then you don't need a quantum approach because you might find more ease, more fun, and more joy in the process. But the kind of woman you are who wants more travel, which means more freedom, more time, right? And you're talking about passion. I would throw in people, right? Spending time with people we love. And what about freedom of choice? Of choice to live and run your business the way you want, right? So those are some of the things that when we start redefining success, we start noticing. So welcome, Sabrina. Welcome, Susan. So happy you're here. So let me continue on what I was sharing with you. And as I mentioned, when I got to finally shift from being a waitress and started transforming my scarcity mindset into and got into business, I used those quantum and neuroscience strategies to really help me with a lot. And at first, I was a salesperson for a technology company. I'm sorry, for the local payroll company. And in 6 months, I was, I put myself so in it, like I was grinding hard. I was networking so hard. I was going everywhere, doing everything to the extreme almost because, I wasn't nourishing myself, eating just fast food. But I got to that next level. I got to be awarded a promotion to a sales manager. As a sales manager, I developed our Colorado market so well that they had to send me on mandatory vacations. They couldn't keep up. The production couldn't keep up with clients. Hello, Marcia.
Hi, I'm so sorry. I got stuck in another call.
That's okay. You're here. It's always right on time. And as I was doing this, I created such a big brand awareness that we decided with the owner of the company I was working for that why not go beyond that. And this was already my first steps into the quantum expansion, because instead of opening more local offices, we decided to go franchise route and we expanded this way, right? So one of the visionary ways to grow your revenue and your impact, because now we had other franchisees that were doing the working hard and we were the umbrella company. So that got me to my next level. But eventually, I was also at this place where I felt like, you know what? I'm not excited about payroll. Like, have you seen me on stage? Like, that's not a payroll and accounting girl. I'm more creative. I'm more passionate about leadership. So I realized that as much as I was putting all this effort into this wasn't really me. So I started to look at something that would be more aligned with my skills, aligned with my passions. I went to events industry and worked with technology companies that provided equipment to the events industry that was more aligned. I had more travel, but then I realized something's missing. And what was missing was fulfillment. And if you're on this call, let me check in with you. Are you the kind of woman that I would call a heart-centered and purpose-driven woman? And put purpose if that's you. And I refer to you as impact entrepreneurs. I hope you like that term. Yes, Karina. Because when we're living in our purpose, what happens is we are creating an impact through the vehicle of our business. So in all transparency, the reason I'm hosting this webinar and supporting you is because my life purpose is to help more people go from scarcity to expansion, live their best lives. And I can't do it by myself. I have to do it through women like you who are leading other tribes of women, of people who are helping them in your own way. So when I help you, you help me fulfill my purpose. And that really led me to where I am today, which is when I took myself to Paris for a solo trip. I just followed that divine spark and felt like I really needed some inspiration because I wasn't fulfilled and I didn't know what my purpose was. That's when I found my purpose. I came back home and I launched my own coaching and retreat business. And now I get to work with women like you. So we're going back to Debbie when Debbie was redefining success for us. So we were talking about like what is true success for you, and she mentioned the word choice. And there was free. She mentioned the word freedom, and I added choice, right? Because freedom of choice, choosing who do you get to work with, right? How do you get to work? Where do you get to work? I know Sabrina also wants to travel the world and take her business everywhere. So if that's you, then this call is for you. So today I built this ecosystem of containers and things that are aligned with my passions that I absolutely love doing. I love creating the whole mapping out and curating an experience in French Castle, figuring out all the logistics, and then creating the retreat for my clients there. I love running my masterminds and my live events. So I do business on my terms. And that is what led me to host this webinar so I can help you do the same. Who's up for that? Business on your terms? Yes, beautiful. So a little bit about what is wrong with traditional approach to business. Because look at this. I was telling you how I even went up on a ladder of business success by doing putting the hard work, sweat and tears, right? I got to become a co-founder of a national franchise brand. I became a chair of a women franchise network in Colorado, and I started entering rooms that were no longer local business owners, but now my circle of people was the founders of McDonald's, of Orange Theory Fitness, of Massage Envy, and big visionaries who created something like that, right? However, the price I paid is that type of success and that type of business approach, when you want to do it in a linear way, requires constant effort to maintain your results. It also creates exhaustion instead of expansion, and it ignores true success beyond money, right? So we can grind hard to get the money, but when we realize many of you attended the Biohacking in Business conference, and raise your hand or put it in the chat if wellness is important to you, if health is important to you, right? If that is important to you, then your definition of success should include that too, because it's exhaustion, overworking, not having the time for family, friends, joy, health activities. Is that true success? Well, I got to the point where I realized now I'm 45. I just turned 45. Yesterday was my birthday, or 2 days ago was my birthday.
Good birthday.
Thank you. And I will tell you that, ever since I was already in, like around my 40, when I launched my company, my coaching company, I decided there was a better way to achieve success and we shouldn't work this hard. And I knew that as a 40-year-old and now 45-year-old, I didn't want to burn myself to the ground. So who's with me, who feels like you would like more sustainable success, right? More joy, more happiness, more free time to even be. Like I had conversations with one client, and she's like, what do you advise for me in this moment? And I'm like, honestly, what you need is not adding more. You need to carve out time to just pause and be, because she didn't even have that luxury in her life, right? So that leads me to comparing two business models, which is toxic versus quantum business model. And as I experienced both, I will share with you what I see the difference being, right? The first one is often about overworking and always being on. And I'm a speaker, so you hear me. I'm on right now. I'm on when I'm networking. I'm on a lot. I'm an extrovert. I used to say I will sleep when I die. And I felt like life is too short to dilly-dally. I would say that, you know. But now I am, I embrace meditation. I embrace regulating my nervous system, slowing down, because I know that when I slow down, that allows me to speed up even faster. It's just like when your computer is working slow, what do? The first thing people say, just restart your computer or reset the Wi-Fi modem, right? That's like the first thing a tech person will tell you. Do we do that for ourselves? But so the quantum business model is all about peak performers type of energy that comes from alignment and not necessarily from just simple doing. The outdated business model is also about just linear actions. You go from A to B to C, and a quantum business model is exponential, where you skip steps and you leverage growth. So in my case, when I dropped out of college, I dropped out of the linear business model right there, of career model. So I had to embrace something else. And this is what I found working, not just for me because I needed it, but for many of my clients. The outdated model is about effort and only effort. Effort will equals results. But in a quantum model, it's not about success doesn't come from grinding harder, but it comes from aligning smarter. So it's the alignment that creates the results, not just the effort alone. Then the traditional model is also about hustle, force, and burnout, because let's be honest, who's experienced burnout before? I've experienced it. I don't like it. I don't want to go back there. And I think because I've been there myself, I know how painful it is and how much I don't want it. And the quantum model is about flow, ease, sustainability. I mean, yes, I worked at the conference where you met me, but how enjoyable it was to network with everyone, to get inspired, to connect, right? We're having this call today. I get to talk about all my favorite things, and I get to call it work. The old business model is about built on scarcity mindset and limitation. So, and I spoke to some of you already about it, whether it's money scarcity or whether it is scarcity as in there is not another way, or there's only one way, or there's only limited number of clients, or that kind of thinking is the scarcity thinking. So the quantum business model is all about building on abundance and expansion. So if you've been working with Wendy, if you've been in her world and you've been in her reverse engineering mastermind, you have been opening your mind to seeing things differently and to going from scarcity to expansion. This quantum framework takes you to the next level of execution on this. So the traditional model also ignores energy and wellness, while the quantum model integrates energetics, wellness, and balance. It's not that we apply it, so maybe we'll have some of it, but we actually use the energy and fun and joy to create more exponential results. Because there are many quantum portals, and some of those include those aspects too. The old model sacrifices freedom and family time. I was the first one to experience this. My family is in Europe. If I had a chance to go for 1 week a year, imagine after 7 years, I saw my family how many days? 7 times 5, 35 days. That's not okay. Absolutely not okay. So I did this exercise when I decided, what am I no longer willing to tolerate in my life? So ask yourself, what are you no longer willing to tolerate in your business, in your life, in your lifestyle? And that was really that critical point when I decided something has to change. And that's when I launched my business and created it location independent and build it in such a way that my business supports my lifestyle, not the other way around. So the business should be designed to serve you and should be designed around your lifestyle and not to make money and then maybe when you have it, spend it on vacation, but rather have it be that your business supports that lifestyle if you desire to travel and experience the world. So we're moving from the definition of success equals money to success and expanding it. You see, this is not just about if we're not going to do this, we're doing the opposite. We're building on it and we're expanding. Success equals wealth, yes, but also freedom, impact, and fulfillment. Who can subscribe to this kind of success, right? So, what is it gonna take to get this kind of success? And I want to kind of check in with you. What gets you most excited about this new model of success? And does it get you excited? Is there something in it for you? Either share, speak up, or put it in a chat. Thank you. Wellness, health, yes. Beautiful. So as we're moving along, let me share more with you. So who is familiar with law of advancement? Okay, let me walk you through this. Let me ask you this question. What does a seed have to do to become a tree? What do you think?
Has to be planted.
Yes, has to be planted in a soil that will...
The seed have to do? The seed doesn't have to do anything.
Oh, how so?
Well, I mean, it's just there. And then it's whether or not it's in the right environment constitutes whether or not a tree is actually produced.
So the environment is important.
The
Yes.
environment is important, but the seed isn't producing the environment. The seed just happens to be in the environment.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sun, the ground, the weather, the water, and also pollinating. Like maybe there needs to be some bugs helping it out.
Yes, I love it. This sounds about right. So you just described the conditions and the environment that that is optimal for that seed to grow into its fullest expansion, which is a beautiful tree, right? And you're like seeds too. So there's one thing that seed needs to do to become a tree, and that is a seed needs to be willing to stop being a seed so that it can become a tree. Let me explain. A seed needs to be willing to stop being what it is so it can become the tree. Because look at the seed. Seed is flat, it's small, it's delicate, right? You can step on it, you can crush it. It's small, but the tree, it's tall, it's big, it's strong, it goes up, right? It's vertical, completely different structure than a seed. So this is the identity shift. We're looking at the seed, we're looking at the tree, and we can say, oh my gosh, is that the same thing? Yes, because there is an identity shift that happens. So for you, what does it mean for us? and for you. So in order for you to be what you have potential to be, you too must be willing to stop being who you have been so you can become all that you can be. So we too need to make this identity shift when we want to expand into our next version of ourselves. And maybe you've experienced that in your life, right? Like when we're in our 20s, we can be focused on work and put in all the hours because maybe we don't have a family, we're single, and that can happen. But suddenly when someone changes what they want, and they want to become a mother, they want to start a family, suddenly there is an identity shift that's happening, and there is a lot of habits that are changing, because suddenly they're carving out some of the time that they used to spend on maybe just working hard, networking, and partying, to allocate the time to find their significant other, to educate themselves about healthy pregnancy and all those things, right? And then step into the motherhood. And this also happens in business. When you're a solopreneur, for example, and you now want to scale your impact, your revenue, there is an identity shift that needs to happen as well. And I've experienced it myself when I was hired as a VP of business development for the tech company, and they had $70,000 in revenue, and I took them, that founder, to $1 million in 16, 17 months. And the reason we did this, yes, we applied strategy. There was a significant amount of sales strategy, and it was quantum strategy, not just linear strategy, because I knew that if we needed big results, we couldn't do it with linear way. So quantum sales strategy. But also there was an identity shift that needed to happen. That solopreneur was very uncomfortable hiring people, hiring talent, having smarter people on the team than he was in some aspects, right? Having payroll. There was an identity shift. He had to release all that he's been in that role as a solopreneur to embrace that what he was building, and that identity shift allowed him and allowed me to help him to get the $1 million. Are you with me? Are you following? Okay. So hello, Mimi. Let's go back to this. Yes, we're talking about identity shifts and what does it take for a seed to become a tree. Seed needs to be willing to stop being a seed so it can become all that it can be, which is a tree. And that same is true for you and for all of us. Whether we are shifting from employee, like I had to apply the same shifts to me when I was an employee, to becoming an entrepreneur, right? Or if we're leaving corporate to go to wellness, there is a identity shift that happens. So as Einstein reminds us, the thinking that got us what we are is not the same thinking that will get us to where we want to be. It's as simple as this. And it doesn't mean that the thinking we use, what I used when I was building my career, what you're using now to get to where you got today, is a bad thinking. No, it worked for you up until now. But something tells me that if you made your way to this room, to this call, and the universe aligned the stars for you to meet me, that then there's something to it, and that maybe now is the time for you to possibly upgrade your thinking. So when we're upgrading our thinking, I call it upgrading our operating system. Because remember when I mentioned to you, it's not just that we think differently. When we think differently, we start making different decisions. We start choosing different rooms, we change our habits, and that upgrade of our OS also creates more efficiency. You know how Apple constantly sends us new upgrade of OS, and if we don't upgrade, suddenly our phones start working slower, right? If we don't catch up with the times and with what's changing, we're not just gonna work slower, we're gonna be left behind. You've been in a visionary room with biohacking for your wellness, for your longevity, this is no different. We're upgrading our OS. I mean, AI is out there. If we're not using AI, we're trying to say that, I can do it without it, we're going to be left behind because AI is everywhere. Everyone's using it, right? So we might as well leverage that to our success. So why the quantum approach works? Because it asks us to use energy before action. How many of you have worked on something, put a lot of hours, and then it didn't produce results? Because when we're not aligned, when our energy is not calibrated, all that effort can lead to nowhere. But when we start with energy calibration first, then the aligned action that follows is gonna create more results for us. It's identity before strategy. So just as I mentioned with that founder, if I wanted to apply this quantum sales strategy for him, his whole nervous system was shrinking. I could see it. He was like so scared of the idea of changing our packages that he had. He was renting those giant touchscreen screens that look like cell phones for like, I don't even know what it was, like $150 per machine. And I revamped the whole strategy to sell rental experience packages with our technicians, with content creation, and they started at $10,000 a package with few machines, and then you could choose bigger packages, right? Completely different shift, quantum strategy. But he wouldn't adopt this quantum strategy if not for the identity shift that allowed us to adopt the strategy. Non-linear approach offers quantum speed. Who would like to collapse time? How many of you have complained, or whether to people or under your breath, that, oh my gosh, I'm running out of time? Does it ever happen?
Yes.
Yes, right? If it doesn't happen, then maybe your goals are too small, where maybe you're not aiming high enough. But what I know about visionary women is that you have so many ideas, and the biggest limiting belief is, but there's not enough time. So with the quantum approach, you actually collapse time and you have more of it. It also offers upgraded operating system to support your desired lifestyle goals and desire level goals. So that in a previous quantum webinar, I was actually, I don't know if Karina, you were on it, but I was leading a conversation about different levels of goals. And a lot of us set goals based off need-based goals from the scarcity mindset, like my business needs to make this amount of money so I can cover this, and that. Some of us allow ourselves want-based goals. That's better, but we're still very much on the ego level. And then my favorite women to work with are those who allow themselves to go to the desire level goals that are, beyond what you need, what would be nice to have, but like, I want to build an impact empire that and my headquarters of it, I want it to be in a French castle, right? That's my desire level goal. So look at your goals, and I wanna inspire you to make sure that you have desire level goals. Well, with the traditional thinking, sometimes many of us don't allow ourselves to go to even desire level goals, because if you're in the linear, there is not enough hours in a day for you to possibly get to desire level goals when you're trying to make ends meet. And I know how it feels because I've been there when I was working as a waitress, 3 jobs. So the desire level goals are possible when you adopt the quantum approach. And I know you are heart-centered, purpose-driven women up to big things, and you can create a lot of good in the world, and you can be those change makers. So this framework can support that. And who wants to move with quantum speed? When oftentimes what happens with me is with the quantum approach, I think of an idea, I haven't even researched it, I haven't even done the work to take steps towards it, and I meet the right person who is right for the job, or who can literally help me skip those research steps because that person has already done that, right? Or I find about a resource that does that. That's those quantum leaps and quantum synchronicities that happen. So how do we go from an overworked entrepreneur to a quantum peak performer? I want to check in with you. How would your life and business change if you could do that yourself, if you could experience this, if you could go from overworked with time limitation and scarcity possibly to abundance and quantum speed? What could you do more of? What would your life look different like? What would your business look like?
I could expand faster.
Mm-hmm.
My business
Amazing.
just in general and the vision that I have for it.
And what happens when you expand faster? What's the ripple effect of this on your family?
The impact on the women business owners, which then impacts the world because my women are impacting the world.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
When Sabrina helps them with their business strategies, those wellnesspreneurs, soulpreneurs can create more success. And look at the world's condition of the world right now. We are right now, how many wars are happening, right? How many kids are starving? How many kids are being trafficked? One of the organizations I support, and I do scholarships for sex trafficking victims that now want to thrive. So imagine if Sabrina helps more women, if Debbie helps more women, whether be healthy, wealthy, more successful in business, those women become women of influence. Suddenly, they can make decisions. One of my friends was just at United Nations, an ambassador to United Nations. She was invited to be in this room to shaping the rules and agreements that are intercontinental. That is incredible, right? So that's why we need to be successful. We need to be making more money. Your clients need to be making more money because we need more heart-centered leaders who shape the world to make the world a better place. And how do you eat an elephant? One piece at a time, which means we do it one person at a time. When Sabrina does it for herself, suddenly that spills over for her women who are her clients, right? Yes, yes. Okay, so let me share with you what that looks like. So the quantum success framework that I've developed over the years that helped me, but also has been helping many of my clients, has 7 pillars. One is quantum mindset and vision, because that's really that quantum shift in operating system, that upgrading your operating system. You need to start thinking differently, making decisions from a quantum place, problem solving a quantum. So that's what I teach you, like literally how to think differently, like that next level leader. The next one is quantum alignment and human design. And anyone familiar with human design? Or heard of it? Okay, amazing. So human design is essentially blueprint for how energetically you're supposed to serve the world, because we all want to help people. We all want to do make our business be successful, but there is a unique blueprint for each of us how to do it with less effort. So we learned quantum alignment. Because let's be honest, Sabrina, you're a business coach. How many business strategies are there for marketing, right? Or for sales or for lead gen? Bazillion, probably.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And people always think, okay, it worked for her, so why isn't it working for me? And then we get frustrated, and then we get resigned. And then sometimes we make it about ourselves. We think, well, maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe I'm not cut out for it. When I trained myself to be a coach, I had, probably 100 women in my coaching program, 2-year program. Imagine now, out of all these women, I follow years later, I see them, we're still connected on Instagram, on Facebook, and so forth. Most of them went back to a 9 to 5 job. They didn't make it in business as a coach. Not because they're bad at coaching, bad at helping people, because they're didn't shift their thinking from employee to an entrepreneur. They didn't master business. There was a lot of things that they didn't do, and world is missing out on those women possibly making an impact, right? So I don't want this to happen to you. So the quantum alignment is key to find what strategy will actually work for you, and not just because Malvina's using it or someone else is using it, what is aligned for you. And we figured that out. Business energetics and flow mastery. That's key because when Wendy introduced me, she said to know Malvina is to know her energy. And I'm so grateful she said that, because I market with energy, I sell with energy. Everything is energy for me. Energy comes first. I don't accept clients to my program when the energetically we're not aligned, and I mind my energy. I guard my energy. I'm committed to a high vibration lifestyle, so my frequency matters, because in life we don't get what we want. We get what we're an energetic equivalent to. So if we're emitting waves that are attracting, let's say our scarcity thinking is attracting other scarcity clients, guess what? They're not going to have money to pay us. We're not going to have a thriving business. So we need to calibrate our energy for this next level business success. And flow mastery. So how to be in a flow? That's when you feel like you're collapsing time, like you have more of it. So I teach you about quantum portals and manifestation techniques as well. But notice this, like I could do this quantum expansion and it could just be about this number for quantum portals and manifestation. And that would be very much in the energetic realm. I talked about it with Sabrina, but I believe that you need to have both. That's why I teach you quantum business energetics, how to bring a lot of masculine energy, feminine energy, and align with both. And that's why I teach you magnetic branding and visibility, because who agrees, the more visible you are, the more people see you, the less phone calls you need to make, the less outreach you have to do, right? So how cool would it be if people were just finding us? That's possible with my strategy. Wealth creation and quantum selling. When I built my business, I applied my high ticket formula, the same formula that I applied to when I helped this founder go from $70,000 in annual revenue to $1 million in 17 months. Because when we're starting, we don't have a lot of people we know. So we need to figure out the way to sell quality versus quantity to be able to sustain ourselves and fund the next stage of our business, right? So there's a lot of wealth creation strategies. In just last Quantum Mastermind session, I led a session on wealth creation, and every one of the women has already in a mastermind is already doing fabulous things, and they already saw how they can tweak it to unlock their next level of wealth creation. So quantum selling is part of it as well. There is traditional sleazy selling techniques and the old school, but let's be honest, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a leader, you're selling. If I'm a speaker, I'm selling. What am I selling? I'm enrolling people in seeing things my way, right? If you're writing a book, you're selling something. You're selling your point of view to people. So there is a sleazy way of doing it, and there's energetically aligned way. When I bring on clients on board working with me, I love my clients. I don't ever complain about my clients. Oh my gosh, this person, that person, because I energetically attract and sell in such a way that the clients that they come on board want to work with me. They show up for their work and they get the results, right? And then quantum systems using also AI and time freedom, because the biggest thing for me is I can inspire you to want more for yourself or to be a visionary, But if I don't show you how you can leverage time, how you can use different, buy yourself more time, you're going to be like, but I don't have time. I can have a vision all I want, but how am I going to do it? So that's really key. So out of all of those, I want to check in with you. Which ones are you most excited about or you could use the most right now? Either raise your hand or put it in a chat.
I feel like the one that I have a question about is a quantum portal.
Yes, exactly. So there are many quantum portals because in a quantum realm, there is infinite number of possibilities. So if you have a question, there's infinite number of answers to your question. If you have a problem, there's infinite number of ways to solve your problem. If you want clients, there's infinite number of clients, infinite number of money. But we typically see things in one-dimensional way and we don't so it's almost like we have a key to one room and there's many rooms in a quantum, many versions of the reality. They already exist, they literally already exist. So there's exists the version of you, Sabrina, that's doing what you're doing right now. There's another version of you that already is traveling the world while living this global lifestyle. There's another version of Debbie who's doing things out there. There's another version of Marcia who might be on a stage with Oprah, right? And this is all about opening doors, first knowing that those quantum portals are there and taking you through different quantum portals so you can unlock more of those doors and more opportunities. So you're suddenly going from just seeing this door and mastering, you've mastered this door. Like all of you mastered this one portal, but you have neglected the others. So suddenly I'm literally giving you keys to the other portals through different techniques that we
You
do.
went silent.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I can hear it perfect.
Can you hear me all?
I can hear you fine.
I can hear you.
Okay.
I heard everything.
I
Okay,
did not.
perfect.
So now you come back, but your screen is frozen.
It's probably, yeah, I don't think it's on Malvina's end.
Okay.
You didn't freeze for me.
Yeah, you're fine for me.
Okay, so maybe your internet, Marcia, is acting
Okay,
up.
we're back now. That's weird. It froze the whole
Okay,
thing. Like you went silent and you went frozen. So it's back.
no problem. So essentially, so that's one of those things that we also look at in a portal, in a quantum success mastermind. So that leads me to tell you more about the mastermind. And for those of you who already had a call, the quantum audit with me, heard me talk about it. And those of you who booked the calls, because I know some of you have calls with me, I will help you audit what you're doing right now and actually give you guidelines what to focus on to unlock those quantum leaps for yourself faster, because for everyone it's a different thing we get to do. And that's why I developed the Quantum Success Mastermind, because I realized that this is this way of operating your businesses, shifting your mindset, shifting your energy, recalibrating your nervous system, it's gonna take some time. And that's why I created the mastermind that is a 1 year container. And this is for those of you who value freedom, wealth, and impact. And right now, this week, I'm opening 7 more spots for the Quantum Mastermind. And I have 2 levels, and I'm opening 2 spots for the Empress level. And one of those spots has already been taken. I had 8 spots for the leader level. One already was taken. So now there is 7 left. So who wants to hear more?
I want to have our personal meeting so I can discuss with you where I'm at. And I know I have the whole quantum idea out there. I just need to find alignment because it's been a lot of energetic interruption in my business. Like I talked to you a little bit and I am all over energy as well, but I also am crossing a road where there's a lot of blockages that I'm trying to clear out the way. So I just need help finding alignment to my process, and I think that involves a little more personal that we can discuss and see exactly where I'm at, and then it's when I can probably see where I accommodate as well. You know what I mean? So
Exactly. So definitely reschedule that because I know we had it and we
yeah.
will definitely do this. So let me show you what this looks like because right now I'm offering a huge opportunity. So the 1 year mastermind to be in this with me with my mentorship is a $10,000 value, and right now I'm offering opportunity for you to join in at the 50% off level and become a founding member. So let me share how that looks like, what is all included in this mastermind, because this is really exciting. There is a lot of incredible things that will help all of you on this path. So right here. Uh, so this is essentially, we're entering the quantum age of business, and you get to upgrade your operating system and unlock quantum success, not with strategy, energy, and mindset. So this is for ambitious women who want to scale their impact and income, time and money freedom, and feminine success without burnout. So what you get in the mastermind is 12 months high-level mentorship. You also get 2 monthly quantum coaching sessions. You get quarterly in-person events. And some of them might be in Florida, in California, maybe even in Paris. You get online portal with videos and training. So the quantum wealth creation session that I just did last week, once you sign up, you get to watch it and learn and apply it right away. You get private WhatsApp community. You also have guest speakers. Last month we had psychology of selling. This month we have quantum systems and AI. So a lot of really incredible people. Wendy is joining my advisory board, and she's gonna be our guest speaker and advisor for publishing books and creating the impact this way as well. So I'm bringing a lot of really key people. And I also have a Quantum Mastermind Empress level. Now, the Empress level is for visionary women ready to claim their Empress status. And I see it in my case as I feel like I'm building an impact empire, right? That I don't just want one little business. I want an empire with ecosystem. That's why I have She Rises Academy. That's why I have Quantum Mastermind. That's why I have my VIP days. That's why I have Quantum Retreats, speaking engagements, right? Books, because it's all about bringing this work to more women like you to be more successful. So in this level, you get not only 1 year mastermind and everything that's included, but also you get my Quantum Empress retreat in a French castle. Karina, are you still with us? Do you want to share anything about the retreat? Karina was photographing the retreat, so she just got a glimpse of it, but she was there for a few days.
Yes. Oh, it was so beautiful. So yeah, so I can't speak for the workshops, but I know, like I could tell by what I heard from the women and how they felt, because I was there more towards the end, right? So what I could tell from the women is that it was a wonderful experience and really transformative. And well, the ceremony that I photographed, it was so, so special. And I 100% recommend everyone, especially with this deal. I think it's a no-brainer if you need that kind of help. And you also get the Empress retreat. It was wonderful.
Yes. Thank you for sharing this. So the idea is you are in a castle, French castle, so you can embody the identity of that woman who is at her next level. You're literally walking the castles, you're dining there, you're unlocking then those quantum empress codes. So this is the identity shifts that are happening at quantum speed, away from your home, away from your routine, away from the busy schedule. You can be present for your own expansion and elevation. And so I even have women who are signed up going the second year in a row, and that's what led me to actually include this retreat in this year's membership. So the retreat itself is a $20,000 retreat, and the women who are signed up to go with me this year paid $15,000 to attend this 7-day retreat. So in this level, you get 1 year mastermind, that's a $10,000 mastermind, $15,000 retreat, quarterly private coaching sessions with me, the quantum advisory board. So women like Wendy Bloom-Weiss and Simone and Ari and few other experts are now available, not just as speakers that will lead a webinar, but also for the empresses. They stay on and they're available during my VIP cocktail receptions, during our online sessions for laser coaching and support. So you get also front row seating at live events, VIP cocktail reception at quarterly events, and priority retreat pre-sale access. A lot of my retreats are small retreats and they sell out fast. So you do get to be the first one to know about them and go to places like Thailand to reset your nervous system. And that's what's all included. So right now, like I said, I'm bringing 7 women. If you want to join at the level of quantum mastermind at the quantum leader level, it is you would pay $97 today, and in 24 hours you would get the $444 monthly charge, and every month you that would be drafted. So you're essentially getting 50% off the whole membership. That's in this founding member phase to join the original founding members that are in the mastermind already. So this price is not going to be here forever. It's only this week, and it is for next 7 people because 1 spot was already taken. And you have this price if many of my clients want to be in the mastermind beyond just 1 year, because it's incredible also networking, and you're always getting so much from me and everyone who's involved. So that price will be guaranteed. So when future people will be paying $1,000 a month or $10,000 a year, you can continue at the $444 level. And if you know you want to sign up and you want to pay in full, I will share this with you as well. There is a pay in full discount because I believe in rewarding quantum action, fast action, and you can be a part of a mastermind at $4,500. And then the Empress level, so you're saving a bit more. Empress level membership is a $30,000 value, like I mentioned. So it's a $20,000 retreat, $10,000 mastermind. But right now you can get it for $1,350 per month for 12 months. So it's about, I think, $16,000. Or you can pay in full $15,000, and you can essentially get the entire mastermind in the same price that my clients paid for just the retreat alone. So that is a huge, huge saving. And like I said, because the quantum retreat has limited number of spots, at this moment, I'm only opening 2 spots for the Empress level, and I already have 1 spot taken. So I want to open it up for any questions that you might have about the quantum approach or quantum success framework or the quantum mastermind.
Um, yeah, I want to have our personal call before
Sure.
anything. Just make sure it aligns with what I need right now, and then if we can get the term, then I'll probably, make decision right there.
Absolutely. And did we already reschedule that with
I
you
don't think
or
we have.
to
I don't
reschedule?
think
Okay,
we have. If you just want to send me your calendar again, and then I can.
perfect.
Like, I'm so sorry about yesterday. It was truly I think one of the hardest days of my life. Ends up that at 3 a.m., after I spoke with you, my son was in the emergency room with his girlfriend. Like everything happened yesterday that you can imagine. So I got home and I pulled my breath and I go like, okay, shifting, 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 shifting. You know what I mean? Get a good night of sleep, and okay, we started all over again. But it was very intense.
I am so sorry. And yes, you're right to wanna schedule that call with me because things like this, there is always, patterns and energetically how can we set ourselves up so we don't attract, things like this.
Well, and,
Absolutely.
and I absolutely know what it is. It's just the fact in able to be aware and to know and to be able to do the transition. It you know what I mean? It takes another step and it takes another recalibrating again, and you know what I
Exactly. So you
mean?
you already understand this.
Oh,
So
totally, totally. That's my lifehood. You see behind my table, you see what I live on, and it's all about transmuting and shifting. But I still have three teenagers at home, and everybody needs mommy at the same time that I'm trying to. Um, I sacrifice a lot to make sure they are in the right track. And now I don't want to be an empty nester, not knowing what to do with myself. So in the last few years, I started that transition in going for my own goals, like restarting again. And well, just like you, I left Brazil when I was 24 years old, 31 years ago.
You left Brazil.
Mhm.
Are you Brazilian?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm Brazilian too.
Where are you from?
Rio.
Okay, I'm from Porto Alegre, Karina. Prazer
Amazing.
te
I
conhecer.
could not. I